Now, just 2 days ago, Star Wars really made history. We witnessed a historical moment within the franchise, all thanks to Jon Favreau, Peyton, and of course, let's not forget about Dave Filoni. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what we witnessed in The Mandalorian Season 2's finale, especially of course with Chapter 16 overall, the rescue, in my opinion, I think it was a fantastic end of Season 2, setting up of what's to come in Season 3 and 4 that are currently being worked on back-to-back as we speak. Now, if you guys have not seen The Mandalorian Season 2, I do suggest that you guys back out of this video right now, but without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, everything related to Jon Favreau. This is the guy that is taking after George Lucas. Even Bob Iger stated at the Rise of Skywalker premiere that he sees a lot of George Lucas within Favreau. Now, I will say that Dave Filoni is the true protege of Favreau because he is the guy that picked up on a lot of Star Wars lore that George Lucas originally created for the prequels that were not actually used, and kind of threw that into the Clone Wars and threw that into Star Wars Rebels as well. However, Favreau is a pioneer. I mean, this is the guy that really gave us the first live-action Star Wars TV series. Of course, we do know that George, at one point in time, was working on one, but it got canceled, I believe, back in 2007, maybe 2008, give or take, and that was that. However, Jon Favreau really knows what he's doing with Star Wars now. So with that being said, with The Mandalorian Season 2 now over, Disney and Lucasfilm are primarily focused on the future of the franchise on Disney+, and also what's to come for the future of the franchise around the world. However, recently creator Jon Favreau took part in an interview after Season 2's end and was questioned about Luke Skywalker. Jon Favreau went on to reveal that Luke Skywalker being added into the finale was a last-minute decision to have his face added in. Favreau went on to add that actor Max Lloyd-Jones was a last-minute decision to showcase Luke's face in the form of CGI at the very end of the episode. Originally, they were actually aiming to have Luke's face in the shadows before bringing him into the next season, Season 3 of course. When Favreau was questioned about Luke's future, Favreau went on to unveil that you can expect Luke to meet some fan-favorite people in the Star Wars franchise, but that's anything, of course, that he actually won't say beyond that. Favreau went on to reveal that fans are going to witness a side of Luke that they have never seen in both Legends and/or canon, and that they are in for a great surprise. Favreau also unveiled that the Luke Skywalker hallway scene when fighting the Dark Troopers was heavily inspired from Vader fighting the rebels in Rogue One. Favreau states that it's like poetry, it rhymes just how George Lucas wanted it. So let's take a step back here for a second. George Lucas had a major influence on how the fight scene was done for Luke, modeling it after the Darth Vader slaughter scene in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. We all witnessed this, right? In Rogue One back in 2016, the iconic moment in which you hear the rumbling of metal, right? And then you just hear Vader's boots, as if he's like some kind of monster in the dark, only to reveal himself with the ignited crimson blade. And what was so exciting about that moment is that we finally got to see Darth Vader actually in full-blown action, almost like in fast motion for the very first time in live-action form. You know, mind you, in the original trilogy, Vader was a bit more slow-paced. I mean, yes, you could count the Empire Strikes Back battle sequence between himself and Luke, but this was a different scale. He was really going at it with the rebels, slaughtering them one by one, using the Force, lifting them up into the ceiling. I mean, they did crazy things. And we saw something similar with how Luke was treated. We saw him use Force Crush. We saw him using the Force literally to push those Dark Troopers out of the way, or to actually use his lightsaber in different ways that we have never seen before. So, not just that, the fact that Max Lloyd-Jones, alright, the fill-in for Luke, was a last-minute decision. Once again, guys, this is exactly why they did not rush over to Sebastian Stan just yet. They're actually aiming to have him do Luke Skywalker in Season 3 and 4 to give us a less CGI-ish looking face. They want a real face for the future of the Mandalorian series, which honestly is good. That's the way to go, right? You want a real guy being Luke. I'm not saying or complaining about what was done in Season 2, but I will say that there are some flaws in how, if you look very close at how the mouth is animated sometimes, it's almost as if it comes out of a video game at times. But anything beyond that, I mean, maybe the saturation was a little off on his face in comparison to the background. That's about it, really. I mean, if you don't focus on it too much, it blends in. They did a pretty good job with Luke in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. So like I've said before, I think that Jon Favreau knows what he's doing. They did a great job for Luke, given that his face was a last-minute thing. Kind of like how Vader was a last-minute thing in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Almost a similar situation here. And very ironic, I must say. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.